Guys, Chris Elkins from CuttingEdgePhysiques.com and Max Hype Training. I was recently asked to demonstrate the difference between a conventional deadlift, a sumo deadlift, a stiff leg deadlift, and a Romanian deadlift. So I'll demonstrate that now. We'll start with the conventional deadlift. Now, all of these lifts target hamstrings, glutes, and a different amount of quads depending on which movement you're doing. So starting with the conventional deadlift, you want to keep the bar as close to your shins as possible. It should be about mid-foot so that your shins are actually coming forward. You're gonna grab the bar, pull yourself into position. So your hips should come down, pulling yourself into position, bringing your shins closer to the bar. Keeping the bar as close as possible, maintain a neutral spine. You're gonna push and pull. So you're gonna push down and pull back and come up. You're not gonna hyperextend like this, straight at the top and then back. On the conventional deadlift, we're not really so much worried about the negative. We're just focused on the concentric. So that's one rep. The rep starts and finishes on the ground. So you're not stopping at the top, going down and bouncing. Each rep. You want to focus on extending the knees and hips simultaneously. That's the conventional deadlift. All right, next up is the sumo stance deadlift. Now, the difference between conventional and sumo is that instead of your hands being outside of your feet, your hands are gonna be inside your feet. This is gonna hit quads and adductors a lot more, while still giving some hamstring and a lot of glute activation. So, same idea. Your mobility is gonna depend on your exact form and stance, but you're gonna turn your feet out, keeping more upright posture. In the conventional deadlift, you're bent over more. In the sumo, you're a little bit more upright. You're gonna come down, grabbing the bar in the middle. Again, keeping the bar close to you, close to your shins, and lock it out. You really wanna focus on keeping the bar close to your body, keeping a neutral spine. This one is not quite as hard on the lower back as the conventional deadlift. So as you can see, with the sumo, because you're spread out wide, your range of motion is decreased, so it's less total workload. However, that means you can usually move more weight, but it's gonna vary from person to person. The stiff leg deadlift is very similar to the conventional deadlift. However, your hips are not gonna change height. So your knees are gonna be slightly bent, similar to a starting position of a conventional deadlift. So once you get started, after the first rep, you're gonna lock your knees in place, slightly bent. You're gonna come down, maintaining a neutral spine. You're gonna feel a deep stretch in your hamstring. You're gonna make sure the slack is pulled out of the bar at all times, and then one rep. Very similar to a conventional deadlift, but we're removing the quads from the equation because our hip height is not going to change. So again, with stiff leg deadlifts, it's like the conventional deadlift. The rep starts on the floor and finishes on the floor. And finally is Romanian deadlifts with a barbell. Unlike the conventional and stiff leg versions, the rep actually starts at the top and finishes at the top. So if you're taller, your arms are shorter, this is gonna be the movement for you. I prefer to do this movement with dumbbells, and I'll demonstrate that after the barbell version. So just like a stiff leg deadlift, you're not gonna change the position of your hip height. Focus on that deep stretch in your hamstrings. Really kick your butt back. Focus on the hip hinge. These can be done with dumbbells, kettlebells, or even just weight plates. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comment down below. This is Chris Elkins from CuttingEdgePhysiques.com and Max Hype Training.